the straights don't, go to gay bars every weekend and party hard and all this stuff. But when they want to hang out, they almost go harder than we do. And it's almost like, oh no, we're going to hang out with the straights. We're going to be up till 4 a.m.
Man of the year, man of the year, man of the year. Welcome to the #1 friendship podcast in the country. I'm Aaron Karo.
I'm Matt Ritter.
I'm going to drop a bombshell for our audience.
Oh boy.
We are both straight.
That's news to me.
We're just two run-of-the-mill straight guys.
Yes, this is true, but we have friends that aren't.
It's true, and it's Pride.
Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. We're celebrating our gay friends. And interestingly enough, not only do we have a bunch of gay friends, but we have a lot of gay listeners.
We love the gays.
We love the gays. And they love the straights.
And they love being called the gays. They call us the straights. Don't think that's weird.
Now, do you think that we have more gay friends because we live in LA, which is super gay?
Yes, because we've lived in West Hollywood for decades.
Yeah.
And I don't live there anymore. But yes, obviously, I think, would we have the same vibrant gay crew if we lived in a different neighborhood of LA? Maybe still, but if you we also lived in New York too. So it's like, those are two of the most progressive cities in the world. Yeah, I mean, I think that has a lot to do with it.
Can you just paint a picture of what it's like living in West Hollywood?
I mean, it's the most progressive, you drop a pin of everything that is the stereotypical progressive world that exists.
You keep saying progressive. You mean gay.
Gay. It's fun.
It's the gayest city in the country.
It's fun. It's a good time.
It's a rainbow.
The one thing I've always been jealous of, LA. So New York has blocks and blocks of bars and clubs, and you can walk around and stumble around and do a bar crawl if you're straight. If you're straight in LA, that doesn't exist, but the gays have it on lock. The best bar crawling, pub crawling. I think the West Hollywood bar crawl, pub crawl is the best of anywhere in the country.
Yeah. I mean, if you're gay.
Right. I'm saying, but I'm just in general.
Although I did
for straights, it's pretty fun.
I did do a little crawl this past weekend. So it's Pride, and we wanted to talk about some of the different dynamics in the gay community, how their friendships work, how their friendships work with other gay people, how their friendships work with their straight friends.
And I know what you're thinking, what the hell do these guys know? Nothing. Almost nothing. Which is why we've got guests.
So we're basically going to hand our show over to the gay community today. We have two amazing interviews. The first is Tien Tran. She's amazing. She is one of the stars of How I Met Your Father on Hulu. She's hilarious. She's a comedian. She's a writer. Thanks to Fireball Adam for introducing us. And so let's talk to Tien, and then we'll see you at the other side. Hello.
Hey,
how are you?
Hey.
Oh, I'm so good. How are you both?
We are amazing. You're still one of our very early guests. We're really excited to have you. I've always wanted to know, I'm just going to jump right in.
Great.
What is it like having show friends?
Oh my gosh. When you say show friends, do you mean the cast outside of the show, or being a part of a show that is built all around friendship?
Well, both. Actually, both.
Oh,
I was
both?
thinking the former, but I like. Well, I guess those are two different things. But one is are you friends with other people on the show? And if so, what is it? Is that friendship like every other friendship, or how is it? How is it different? What's it like?
Yeah, no, we're all genuinely. I'm not just saying this. We are all genuinely friends with each other, and I think the best thing about being on a show like this is that when we do have scenes all together, it's a little bit of a nightmare for the rest of the crew because we're just talking and laughing and screwing around with each other. Our AD has to kind of herd us like a bunch of little cats. So it's both a blessing because I hope the chemistry comes across on screen, but also a curse for everyone else because it makes the day longer. And friends wise, yeah, we've gone to soccer games together. I've gone to dinner with it's just, yeah, it's a normal friendship, I would think. Yeah.
I mean, you guys seem like genuine friends, but obviously it's like, hey, are they acting? You know, because sometimes you hear like a show about, you know, friends and it's like, oh, they hate each other. You know, they're mortal enemies. You know, these two friends on the show, Friends, actually hate each other, right? But
Yes.
you guys seem to get along really well. I guess the second part, which was a question that we had thought we were going to ask you, which was, how has that sort of, you know, being on a show about friendship, like that's the sort of through line of the show, how has that sort of made you think about friendship, if it has at all, and how has that like changed your own friendship dynamics? Does it like impact it in some way?
Yeah, I mean, it actually, not that I needed to be reminded about how important friendships are, but we started shooting this show like still in like a pandemic sort of atmosphere, and I had been living in Illinois at the time, and so I wasn't getting to see a lot of my friends that live in LA and live in Chicago, and so it really reminded me and like grounded me to be like, okay, you really got to like reach out and take the time and like engage with people beyond social media, because I think Instagram gives us like a false sense of being able to keep up with people, and we develop these like parasocial relationships that don't have depth to them. And so in doing this show, it made me really like kind of hold the friendships that I have close to me even closer, just like they are so life-giving. And I like to, I know people use this word a lot, but like chosen family is very important to me. And so I think this show is does such a wonderful job of showcasing this group of people that are essentially like chosen family for each other. Like they almost have a sibling-esque relationship in that like you kind of put up with everyone's sort of quirks and ups and downs. And so it was so nice to be able to be a part of this show and then also like reconnect with people that I'm so near and dear to now in LA.
Parasocial. So does that mean that we're not friends? Because I'm like, oh, Tien was on our podcast. That's it. We're actually friends now.
No, we're actually friends now. I guess when I mean parasocial wise, I know that like sometimes I follow someone like another comedian and I will see them at a show and say something that's like way too personal that I shouldn't bring up right away because I've seen it in like an Instagram story or something. Like I'll be like, oh, how's your grandma doing? And it's like, I've never talked to this person in my entire life.
Just for context, Tiana, me and Matt have been friends since second grade. So I know everything about
out.
it. Yeah.
That is amazing. From like, were you classmates or like neighborhood friends?
We have the same group of 9 friends from our town, and it's been 35 years.
That's so amazing. I'm always I look on with the admiration from like childhood friends because I moved around a lot as a kid. So like I don't have that as much. And so when I hear it, I'm like, that is truly beautiful. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, that was sort of why we launched the pod. We were like, oh, wow, there's one thing we did right in life was figure out a way to keep our friends close for this whole time. The only one.
So in the pod, we've divided up sort of what people's roles are in any friend group. Like there's a secret keeper, there's a mother hen, there's a life of the party. Like what is your role? And this could be about your show friends or it just could be about your civilian friends. Like what's your usual like role in a friend group?
I like calling them civilian friends. My peasant friends.
The peasant friends. In the peasant group, your role is the person who pays for everybody because you're on a show.
It's actually really funny that I am about to embark on a like friends reunion trip tomorrow. Like I'm flying to New Orleans and it's the first time I've seen, I think, all of my like female friends from college since their wedding. So it's been several years now. So I'm very, very excited. And I would say of my friend group, I am, okay, wait, you had secret keeper. I'm a secret keeper. And I would say that I'm kind of the gossip too. So I'm two sides, and I think you can play it in different ways with different people. But I love a good gossip. I love a good secret keeping. And I do think that out of my friend group, I like growing up was kind of the clown of the friend group. And I will see if those hold true when I go on this trip tomorrow.
I love that you were like, I'm the most trustworthy, but I also betray people. That's me
Yeah,
all
of
the
course.
time.
I mean, I betray people. I betray people as well.
I am the wild card / good time Charlie of the group, and Aaron plays many roles in our friend group. Actually,
Aaron, what would you say? Yeah, what are your roles?
So I'm the organizer, like we said, the secret keeper. I'm the historian. So I have all the pictures organized, all the traditions. Very important.
yeah. I mean,
That's really important.
Well, the secret keeper / historian is the guy you have to stay friends with forever.
I have no choice.
Yeah, you can't burn that bridge.
You know, speaking of, we always like to just get into that right away too. It's like, has a friend ever done you dirty? Like, do we want to spill some of that tea right now?
Oh my gosh. Has a friend ever done me dirty? I want to say no. The one thing that I can think of was that I had a friend who got a little too jealous of like a new relationship that I was in. And that became like it became a little untenable, honestly. Like it wasn't a healthy thing. And sadly, we are like no longer friends because like he maybe had a crush on me, and
100%. That's what was going
okay.
on. I don't even know you. I mean, obviously.
Okay, thank you for giving me the freedom to be like, yeah, no, he had a crush on me. It was totally unreasonable and irrational, and because of that, when I started dating my now wife, he was like way too possessive, way too like having summits with me about our relationship, and I was like, this is not good. But it took me so long to realize. Yeah, I know. He called them summits. Have you ever been called to a summit?
Anytime somebody goes, we need to have a summit, it's like, nah, I don't think we do, actually. I'm not sure.
Yeah, you're like, we're not a corporation and we're not in a retreat. I don't think we need a summit or a keynote speaker. And this, like, it took me so long to be like, oh, this is not how friendships are supposed to be like.
I love that summit. We've never got to a friendship summit. We got to talk about that on the pod.
Oh, see, that's good. Well, have you you have never had to have like a summit within the friend group at all?
We call that an intervention. We call that an intervention. Yeah.
Okay. And have you had to do that?
We were on the verge of giving a friend one, and then he gave himself self-intervened.
Okay, great.
Yeah. We were like,
okay,
right,
so you were let off the hook. That's amazing.
Yeah, we were about to do a summit. We were going to do a whole summit.
I still feel a little like gypped that we didn't get to do that.
Yeah, it would have been a good milestone. It would have been a good milestone. We're in our 40s now. It's time, you know?
No, you should have been like, actually, I know you've already been proactive about, addressing the situation, but we've prepared all this material, so you kind of have to let us.
Right. What are we going to do with all these slides? You know?
Yeah, we have all these slides. We have a PowerPoint.
Yeah, like, come on.
Amazing. Okay, this is actually a great segue. So, in case you haven't guessed it, we're just a couple of two straight guys. I mean, we're sorry.
Would she have guessed that about you? Though? I don't know.
Well, you mentioned your wife. You gave it away.
No, about you. I'm saying I don't know if she guessed that.
Oh no, I mean, I don't want to guess, but I did think maybe.
So maybe.
Listen,
on the eve of Pride too. I'm doing a lot of good work right now.
You're doing. This is our Pride episode. So
yeah.
Like,
okay, great.
You're representing. Just you're representing everybody.
No, I feel the weight of the community on my shoulders.
It's a big burden.
So when we're thinking of friendship, like me and Matt meet a guy watching a Knicks game or something. Like, it's pretty simple. Like, this guy could be our buddy, and we're just curious. Like, is it making a new friend more complicated in the gay community? Because like it could be a romantic thing.
Oh God, yes and no. Like, there is this similarity where like I'm a big sports fan as well, so like I have made friends going to Angel City and like for the love of like the WNBA, but I have also had like long drawn out friendships with women that I was like, this has got to turn into something at some point, right? It just becomes like this like torturous, unrequited love that ultimately you're like, right, this it's not going to go anywhere. It has happened to me. I can probably count like on one hand. I know other lesbians are like, no, it happens all the time, but I hope that I'm a little more discerning than that. But it's like a little bit of both. Like it's easy to make friends because like you kind of know. I feel like there's a chemistry and a vibe for the most part. But then, you know, when I was young and desperate, I thought every friendship was like a potential love match. So I was out there swinging hitting strikes left and right.
Hitting strikes. That's not a thing.
Hitting strikes. Is that right? I'm not a big baseball
taking
fan.
swings. You were taking swings. You were taking swings. That's what matters. You were taking those swings.
Air balls left and right.
Do you have? I feel like you have like you just give a vibe of like you have gay, straight, like a lot of a diverse friend group. Like, do you have a majority gay friends, or do you have a lot of straight friends too? Like, what's your friend universe?
Yeah,
my friend universe, is what the networks would love to cast. Is like like this New Orleans trip that I'm going on. All my friends are straight, and like I love being the only lesbian in the group. And then otherwise, like very diverse. Like most of my friends here that I spend, I don't even know. I mean, yeah, I mostly spend my like free time, friendship time with mostly queer folks, but it really is so diverse.
Do you refer to your the straight friends as the straights?
Yeah. I mean, I mostly refer to them as breeders.
No, you don't.
No, I don't.
I have a newborn baby, so I like being called a breeder. It's good.
Another thing I was wondering. Okay, so like the classic like straight bro, the straights like boys trip, like Vegas. Like, is there like the lesbian like what's lesbian Vegas? Like, what's a girls trip?
I don't know what lesbian Vegas sounds scary to me. I think Vegas in general sounds honestly, like that sounds like my nightmare. My little sister goes to Vegas all the time, and she's always telling me about the like Wet Republic pool, and I'm like, that sounds terrible.
It's filthy. But we've been there many times.
It sounds bad. I mean, my group of like lesbian friends, when we go out and like honestly we rent this is gonna sound so stereotypical, but I have like we've done the whole like cabin campfire barbecue. That's us going wild. I'm trying to think of, my friends haven't had like a bachelorette party of sorts, so I haven't gotten to experience that. I have been like the lesbian at my best friend's like straight bachelor party, which was very chill and very fun. It was paintball, which why do people like that? That is scary.
Man, when you get hit with a paintball,
no, it's terrible. Why do people like that?
Well, we got in big trouble on our podcast because we said skiing should be illegal. It's too dangerous, and people went crazy on us.
Really?
They were like, "You think skiing should be illegal? What's next? Drag racing? Yeah, paintball. Yeah, paintball. Yes, make paintball illegal. It hurts too much." What else? What do we need? What do we not know? What do we need to know about Karo? What do we need to know about the lesbian world that we don't know?
Oh gosh.
Yeah, because you represent the whole community for Pride.
I know. I'm literally everyone.
You're everyone.
I don't know. I mean, I guess I would say like it, not to be a downer, but like in this Pride and in this time, I do feel like there is such a violent pushback on all LGBTQ plus and like just kind of hateful vitriol. And I would like for like straight allies to kind of step up and like take on some of those harder questions where people are accusing queer folks of, I don't even want to say the word, but accusing queer folks of like terrible things. And like none of that is true. And like so much of it is so hateful. And all we want is just to live our lives and like be treated with kindness. I think that's what everyone wants. And I speak for not just lesbians, but like the rest of the community as well. It's just,
I love that. You got me welling up a little bit. I really love that.
Yeah. I mean, I think,
like, yes.
I think some of the things that like my straight friends and straight family, I think forget from time to time is like how much my partner and I have to navigate being queer in public. Like we have like, this is so wonderful that you have me on your show. Like this probably wouldn't have happened like maybe like a decade ago. And it's so great. And we've made so much progress, but like sometimes being like holding hands with my wife on the street doesn't feel safe all the time, or like going on vacation to like other cities or other countries, it doesn't always feel safe. And so like I think sometimes people get that since there's like all this representation on TV and all this like loud and public support that everything's okay. And it's really, there's still so much that can be done to help folks just be able to like live peacefully and happily without the fear of like homophobia or transphobia. So that would be my little thing.
Yeah.
You know what I hate seeing? You know what I hate seeing, Tien? Straight people holding hands. I can't fucking stand it.
I mean,
like,
I'm pointing out and saying no, stop it. Not in front of my kids, please.
No way.
no, but that's really important. Like, you know, and I hopefully Matt and I are trying to do that.
Our little part.
Very tiny
Yeah.
part.
Our tiniest part. Our tiniest part is just being like, hey, live and let live. I agree with that. I mean, I've always felt that way, but I also think you're right. It's not just live and let live. Like straight people have it on, you know, on easy street in a lot of ways. So I agree. Like if we can make that awareness easier and share that, you know, burden a little bit, like we should. Yeah.
Tien, you are the literal best. We appreciate you. We love you. We're not parasocial. We're actual IRL friends,
Yes.
even though we never met.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a WNBA game together. You know,
Let's do it.
that?
I mean,
I'm not kidding. I've never been to. Is there an LA team? I don't even.
Yeah, LA Sparks. They're so fun.
Oh, LA
It's-
Sparks.
It's such a fun, like the WNBA. So fun.
Tien, thank you so much for
Thank
being
you.
generous with your time.
Yes.
This was so fun. Thank you. You're
Thank
the
you, thank
best.
you. That was awesome.
I love her. I like that she calls her straight friends the
The
straights.
straights. We didn't know that.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
We didn't know that. And I love what she said at the end. I think that's important to our straight male audience. You know, I kind of think that is the term ally just like, has it been overused now?
Well, I don't like it just because maybe it's like a narcissistic thing of like, you're always going to be the center of your life. Like that's like kind of like a ridiculous thing, the notion that like you're going to not center yourself in somebody's universe. That's why I just, for whatever reason, I've never kind of like enjoyed that term because I think it makes people feel like, oh, I have to like put myself outside of the center of my world. I think it's just like try to look at other perspectives, try to realize that you have certain privileges in life.
I also think maybe the term ally like makes it a little bit more complicated.
Yes, I think that's what I'm saying.
Like I like what you just said, like, first of all, just be a normal, respectful,
Right.
friendly,
Yeah,
human.
yeah, caring.
Right. That's what I actually have taken to heart since talking to Tien, is that like when you walk around West Hollywood, like everybody's holding hands.
Right.
And
It's
like
easy for them to do there.
no one gives a shit.
Right.
And
It's
like
not
that's
easy everywhere else.
right. That's us in the world.
Yeah.
Although I will stand by what I said in the interview, which is that I hate when straights are holding hands.
If you tried to slap Jess and I's handshake, it's unbreakable, our bond.
Our next interview is really special to us. It's our first friend,
Wow.
like personal friend.
I know. I can't believe he got the nod.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of our other friends.
Oh, they're going to be pissed. And then we'll frame that as homophobia. And then we'll cancel them.
So this is our buddy, Pat Shin. He's incredible. He's a big time Hollywood publicist. He's one of our favorite people in the entire world. So let's talk to Pat and then we'll chat at the end. Pat, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, there he is.
Oh,
Hey, guys.
I'm so excited.
So long story short, for our listeners, Pat is part of our crew. You are the godfather of our gay crew.
Oh, jeez. I'll take it.
Yeah, I think that's accurate, right?
Yeah. Yeah. No, I look at myself as a leader of the pack in a way with the gays.
Yeah. Like when I think, all of our gays, like you have connected all of them. You've connected the straight and gay universe.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I'm proud
You
of
know
that.
what he does? You know what he does, Matt? He leads from behind.
Oh, ba-dum-bum.
Some would say.
So, okay, it's Pride.
Yes.
And, we're the straights in the group. And we talk a lot in the podcast, as you know, of like making new friends.
Mm-hmm.
So like, is it more complicated? I really don't know the answer to this in the gay community to make a new friend, or is there a different, because if you meet a guy, that could be a friend, that could be a platonic friend, and it could be a romantic friend. So like, is it complicated, or you just no?
I think it's pretty easy as gay men to make new friends all the time, just because being gay, you have that instant bond or connection with another gay person. So I do feel like it's easy, but for me personally, I always say lately, no new friends. I barely have time for my best friends lately with work and life and everything else. So I always say my new friend, my next new friend needs to be a boyfriend or a husband or a man I'm sleeping with. Not
wow, this is a topic. This is amazing because this is a topic crazily we actually haven't covered. We've kind of like broached it because Aaron has a lot of friends and he was like sort of dabbling with the idea of being maxed out. But I love this concept where you're like, hey, I already have this big
enough
friend circle, but I'm really wanting the romantic thing. I'm really wanting the relationship thing. So do you feel then that in some ways your huge swath of friend group is somehow like getting in the way of that focus of a relationship?
No, not getting in the way at all. And I've always been, I've always felt so fulfilled in my life with my friendships. I'm rarely pining away for a boyfriend or a partner, laying on the couch. Like I feel so fulfilled by my friends and my family that I always think when I meet that guy, it'll just be like a cherry on top. You know what I mean? Like I'm not yearning for.
Yeah, I feel like you and Karo are really alike in that sense of like, I don't see you guys as sad. I don't see you guys as sad for being single.
No,
like you both feel like, to me from the outside, you have a really nice holistic social, as we call it, social fitness.
Yeah,
like your universe of relationships seems really great. But if you and Karo would just like get married, I think that would solve.
I would love that. I love an otter.
I would just like to take.
Oh yeah, I just found out what that meant.
Yeah.
I taught him what otters are. I would like to take issue with that premise of like, they don't seem sad to be single. No one says, oh, look at those miserable married people. They don't seem sad to be miserable.
Yeah.
I don't like the implication.
Yeah.
No, but I do think what I meant by that was like a lot of single people kind of harp on it sometimes to their own detriment.
Yeah,
and I think that kind of comes across in a way, but I don't know. Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm not sort of seeing that. You have a lot of gay friends and straight friends.
Yeah.
What's the difference in the friendship? Is there one, like just from a pure friendship perspective?
I don't think so. Especially with my straight and gay friendships, the one difference is it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. I always say when we hang out with our straights, which is like our family of friends.
I love that.
The straights don't, go to gay bars every weekend and party hard and all this stuff. But when they want to hang out, they almost go harder than we do. And it's almost like, oh no, we're going to hang out with the straights. We're going to be up till 4 a.m. So we always say straight, my gay friends and I, who you guys know very well, we always say straight's gone wild when so-and-so has a birthday party or so-and-so takes us to Vegas. It's like, oh my God, it's because they have that one night of the month that they get to let loose and let their hair down. Whereas us gays, we're at gay bars every weekend. We're, doing this and doing that. And we still, party hard. I always wonder.
Pat, now that I have a kid, I'm going to make you guys go as hard as you
exactly
once a year that I can get out.
Yeah, Straight's Gone Wild is the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Straight's Gone Wild. We say it often. Whenever we have a birthday party with one of you guys, we say Straight's Gone Wild.
That's got to be the title.
We're more hungover after a straight birthday party than a gay one.
We've got an audience that maybe has gay people in their life that they're not friends with. What do you think they should be doing to cement a friendship with somebody of the gay community? Like, is there something that cements that? Or is it just the same as regular friend making, do you think?
Yeah, I think it's regular friend making. We never want to be a token gay friend to someone. I think it's healthy for everyone to have a gay friend. You know what I mean? Just to hear and see a different side of things than you're used to. And to broaden your mind too.
Why do the gays love Palm Springs? It's
you
too
know
hot
what?
for me.
It is. I love just how relaxing it is, but you can still party there too. There's like a great assortment of gay bars there. The thing that's happening though at these gay bars, which is an epidemic, we say in the gay community, is straight bachelorette parties, straight girl bachelorette parties.
It's gone wild.
Yeah, Straight's Gone Wild.
Straight's
These
Gone Wild.
straight bachelorette parties have infiltrated our gay bars. So it's like we used to go to Two Cans, which was the popular one, but now when you go, it's all girls. It's all straight bachelorette parties with veils, and so we moved on to another one called Hunters, and that one got taken over. So we keep moving over to the next gay bar. Palm Springs, it's our Hamptons. You know what I mean? It's our kind of like nearest getaway that you can get to in a car that you feel away from LA. It's very relaxing. The weather's always great, even though it's hot. And yeah, it just and there are so many gay people there. I don't know why, like of all ages too. You know, a lot of gay men retire there from LA.
I have to ask you this, Pat, because you
Yes.
work with celebs a lot, and
Yes.
we're not going to ask you to dish any dirt on anybody.
Okay.
But what is it like? This is a friendship podcast. What is it like navigating? And we use this term parasocial relationships these days, and I feel like a lot of people feel like they have parasocial relationships with celebrities, but like you're actually there with them, so I could see that really getting complex and convoluted. Where you're like, are these people my friends, or are they just a celebrity? I'm there to do a job. Like, how does that get navigated?
It is such a job when I'm doing it, when I'm covering someone, at a film festival or at a premiere or a press junket. And sometimes you're kind of in this bubble with them where they do really like you and they act like, your best friends. And then you'll run into that actor or actress or director or whoever 6 months later at Gelson's and say hi, and they'll have no idea who you are. Because I think these celebrities have so many different handlers every week that they just forget. I think for me, like being an Asian guy, sometimes people remember me more than others. I've seen that happen before, but yeah, they're best friends with you when you work with them, and very rarely do they remember you another time.
And do you find like among your colleagues, like do you see other publicists being like, oh, I'm friends with this celeb, and you're thinking to yourself, this person you're not friends.
Yeah,
like people get
of course. Yeah, and the other way around too. I think, I think it just depends on the celebrity, and reality stars I've noticed are easier to befriend. As you guys know, we know some of them on some Bravo shows and whatnot, and they're easier to befriend and maintain a real friendship with, rather than a movie star.
You know why? Because they're not better than us.
It's true. That's so true.
Yeah.
But I've always wanted that one movie star friend, that one, entourage guy or girl who can take me on private jets and always get the best reservations and all that stuff. I've yet to meet that friend.
It's gonna be us. I don't know. Maybe it's gonna be us.
That is someone I'd break my no new friends rule for.
It's not a hard and fast rule.
Yeah. Private jet friends kind of break most of my rules.
Exactly.
Pat, before we go, like, is there anything that you'd want our audience to know? Maybe if you could just like speak candidly to the straights gone wild of the world, that could help us be better friends.
So I don't know about, I don't think there's anything to be better about. I just think it, if you don't have a gay friend, I think it's important to get to know one or two or three. And again, I think it opens up your mind to something. The way that we date, the way that we do things can vary so differently from the straight community. So I think it just broadens your mind to have a friend that's gay.
But it can't be Pat because he's maxed out.
No new friends unless you got a PJ. No new friends unless you got a PJ.
Unless you're a straight man with a PJ.
Yes.
You cannot call.
Exactly.
Pat, thank you so much. You're the man. We love you. We appreciate you. Happy Pride.
Thank you.
What are we going to do? What are we doing?
We're going to party in West Hollywood. West Hollywood Pride's back for the first time in a couple of years. So, a few years.
I love him. I have to say, did you know this? That they have to prep themselves for a night out with the Straights Gone Wild. I love Straights Gone Wild. That should be like a movie title.
Straights Gone Wild is one of the funniest things.
It's one of the funniest things I've ever heard.
Yeah.
So it's funny because I told Jess right after we finished just now with the interview, I said, he said the Straight Gone Wild thing. And she's like, wait, but I thought you had to like muster up your energy for them, which I do. But I think we've just had this crazy miscommunication.
Well, I think they go hard on a more consistent basis.
Yeah, they're always at a 7 or 8.
Right.
I'm at a 1 or 11.
Right. Exactly.
1 or 11.
And I just like how, I don't know, is this the right word? Integrated us and Pat's friends are together. Like, doesn't really matter.
That's what I love about Pat and our whole, like we were doing this episode, like the gays, like our gays, but really I don't even see a difference. Like most of the time we just have a healthy, vibrant, diverse group of friends, which is awesome.
Right. It's like if you have a ticket to some concert, which is your thing, your ticket guy, like you think of inviting Pat because like you think he likes the music.
Yeah.
Like who cares?
Right.
If he's gay or not. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. And our emo soft boys like sports as much as our gays.
Right.
Or less.
Very little.
Very little.
Right.
Actually, probably some of our gays like sports more than our emo soft boys. So
there's one sort of philosophical thing I want to mention before we close this out, which is that, you know, we went to high school and college in the 90s and like, you know, the dynamic was a lot different.
Yeah, there were gays, but they were mostly in the closet. And some of our gay friends now were in the closet in college.
Yeah. And just like saying you were gay or calling someone gay, I mean, that was, you know, an insult.
Yeah.
And thankfully, the society has changed. The dynamic has changed. And I would say we have changed as well. So now we're in a much better place. We're not at the best place, but as like straight guys, like, do you think we have a responsibility to keep moving, you know, the culture in the right direction?
Yeah. I mean, look, again, you know, we're putting so much weight on the, like, we're not like super serious, you know, political activists here. Right. So like, I just want to be clear on this podcast. Like, you know, this is a light podcast. We're trying to help the world be better and just in terms of their relationships. And if we can help people realize that gays, straights, we're all the same. Great. But again, it's like the thing with the ally. I don't like to make it so serious. I think it's just like, be normal and be aware and be, as you mature as a person, like you should naturally be maturing and growing and changing the way you look at the world as you see it and as you start meeting people of different backgrounds.
And if there's a gay person sort of in your outer circle, a work colleague or something like that, like be friends with them. Yeah. Become friends.
Be friends with them. Right. I guess I would say as a host of this podcast, I'd say, it is your responsibility to treat people that are, you know, gay, straight, trans, whatever, just treat them like regular people, treat that potential friendship like you would two straight dudes at a bar. That's what I would say our responsibility to our listeners that I would like to impress upon them.
So that was our Pride episode.
That was great. Happy Pride.
Happy Pride. Pride has become so commercialized and all these corporations are like rainbow
washing. Oh yeah, we
stuff.
only did this because it's a sponsored episode.
Yes. No, anyway, on that note, we have new merch, guys.
New merch.
We're wearing them. If you're watching on YouTube, we're wearing the merch. Go to bonfire.com/Man of the Year podcast to get the new merch. And remember, be good to yourself, be good to your friends.
Love you, buddy.